Welcome to JP's morning brief for June 2nd, 2026. Good morning, everyone. I almost said 1776, which I just did. You can tell I'm always in the history mode. But for June 2nd. Okay, that was a first. My tablet had the volume on. Okay. Wow. Well, hey, welcome to JP's morning brief. We're getting started here before I make another crazy comment. As we're getting started, click that follow button and click that like button. Even though if you're not a follower and you've never clicked that follow button for my channel, click it, please, and then give me a like for the podcast for the day. And if you want to get in there and do some chatting, you can. I'll verbally chat back, or I'll try to text if I can. All right. But yeah, welcome to today. Kind of a busy day. I have a lot planned for the JPA report at noon, but we got this part to get through first. And let's get started. All right. The armament shop. Whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your setup, or need expert service, Jason at the armament shop is Copper's Cove's premier source for all things shooting. Browse our wide selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, backed by top-tier gunsmithing for repairs, along with reloading supplies and professional cleaning to keep your firearm in peak condition. Need a transfer? We make FFL transfers fast, easy, and affordable. Need your CHL? That would be a concealed handgun license. Jason can handle those classes, whether it be online or in person. He has over 3 decades of experience. Visit the armament shop today at 115A West Avenue D in Coppers Cove, or call or text 254-560-2023 and visit www.armamentshop.com. That's www.armamentshop.com. The Armament Shop. Your safety, our priority. Man, I wish I could do sound effects. That would be cool. But I can't. All right. I'm a one-man show here. You got all these podcasters, got all these graphics that go everywhere and sounds. And man, like right now, Graham Allen has Sweet Home Alabama on that thing. I can't do stuff like that. I don't know how to. I just do the best I can, provide information to you. All right, so let's do this. Iran update. 121 vessels have been turned back. Israel and Hezbollah have agreed to end their combat. Take that with a grain of salt. Kuwait has intercepted some Iranian missiles yesterday. Hardliners in Iran fracture after claims that the former president of Iran undermined the spiritual leader. Who cares, right? The International Atomic Energy Agency says it is possible to move uranium out of Iran. The U.S. intercepted 2 Iranian missiles, and after Iran destroyed a U.S. Predator, so there's a little bit of retaliation right there going on. President Trump says a deal is still possible. The IRGC attacked vessels near Qasr in southeastern Iraq. Let's put it like that, right where Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and Iraq all combined. All right, Iraq has just a little bit of a port area that they can use, right? But they attacked a vessel right outside, and I do believe it was South Korean, I think. Iran asked Pakistan to lead de-escalation talks. and Iran claims it controls the Strait of Hormuz. Uh, Brent crude oil right now, about an hour ago, was trading at $93.43 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate is trading at $90.73 a barrel. And the Dow Jones yesterday closed at a record high at 51,078.88. That was up 46.42. All right. So that is the Iran update for right now. It's always subject to change, right? If you like what I'm doing on this, please send me a comment or put something in the chat. I like doing the Iran update. Sometimes it's hard to find data, so I got to look in different places for it. But I like doing that. But if you like it, put something in the comments or put something in the chat, please. Okay. All right. So hold on just a second. All right, I'm back. I hope y'all like the shirt. It's from Dan Bongino Show. You can get them on his store. All right. They took it off, but I put it back on, and I got it as soon as it did. All right. So it's primary day in California, in Iowa, New Jersey, Montana, South Dakota, and New Mexico. All right. So if you are registered to vote, go out and vote. All right. Polls close in California, I do believe, at 8 p.m. local time. Okay. So it won't be, so if it closes at 8 p.m., that means 10 p.m. our time, my time, Central Time, we'll start being able to get results. I will have lots of results tomorrow for both the morning brief and the JPA report. But I can tell you, the stuff in California, this is crazy. I mean, it's like back and forth. You look at published polls, you see polls with Spencer Pratt in the lead. Then you see polls with Karen Bass in the lead, with Spencer Pratt in third place. And then the same thing with the governor's race. You see Steve Hilton in first place. Then you see Javier Becerra in first place. Then you'll see a poll that had Javier Becerra, Tom Steyer, and then Steve Hilton. I'm like, this is crazy. And on the JPA report, I'm going to go into this craziness called the jungle primary, because that is got to go. That is, when you talk about, I haven't even got into this stuff yet. When you talk about voter suppression, man, you can cancel out a candidate like that with the jungle primary, and then you man, I got a gnat or a mosquito in there. Yeah, so if you're able to lock out first and second place in a jungle primary, the Republican Party would have no voice in the November election. I mean, how's that even fair, right? So we'll go into that at noon. All right. So Spencer Pratt's last pitch before the mayor's election today, the primary for it, right? Technically in LA is nonpartisan, but everybody knows, like, if you're that one ramen noodle lady, she's DSA, Democrat Socialists of America. Then you got Karen Bass as Democrat, and then Spencer Pratt, he's more of independent. He said he's not a regular Republican, but he has voted for Donald Trump. So, he's like the true independent in this thing. He's no nonsense. Let's read a little bit about this before we go to Steve Hilton. It says Los Angeles Mayor hopeful Spencer Pratt had a sinister warning in his final pitch to voters on the eve of the election. Los Angeles either votes for Pratt or votes for death. Pratt told California Post on Monday. The greatest city on earth hangs in the balance. Spencer spent the final stretch of his campaign traveling across Los Angeles, holding community events and meeting directly with voters. The candidate stopped at a community barbecue in Baldwin Hills Saturday after residents invited him to the neighborhood, that's pretty cool. An estimated 150 people attended the event, gathering to discuss homelessness, crime, public safety, government accountability, and the future of Los Angeles. Pratt's campaign has centered on change. He told attendees that many of his appearances are focused on listening to residents and learning firsthand about the issues affecting their communities. Baldwin Village is a beautiful area with great people and tremendous potential, but the one thing that stood out to me is how disappointed they are with Karen Bass. They all feel disillusioned and demoralized with city leadership, and they find a glimmer of hope in seeing someone running who hates, distrusts politicians as much as they do. You know, he's right. He may not be the most experienced person in the world, like Karen Bassett. He's just he's just a reality star, and I don't think he's ever had a real job in his entire life. But lady, what have you done in your entire life besides go to DC for 3 days a week and then fly back to LA, then fly back to DC for 3 days a week, then fly back to DC for 3 days a week, then fly back? What kind of job is that? What makes you qualified to be mayor? Oh, you let your city burn down and you have not done nothing to improve the situation. You let crime get out of control and you did nothing to do anything about it. You let the city burn down and you fired your fire chief. I mean, get over yourself, lady. You have no experience. All your concern is accepting donation money from those mega donors that are Democrats and socialists. That's all. I'd be better off going into, let's see, this is Los Angeles County, Watts, and find a kid that didn't even graduate from high school, which you should do something since they're unified school districts. Do something about the education in your county where you live at to give these kids a fighting chance in life. And you do nothing but soak in donations and do nothing at all to help the situation of the people that live in your city. Karen Bass, you're pathetic. And I really hope you come in third place today. That would be that would be awesome. All right, moving on. Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton is running for governor. There's no re-election in this one because Gavin Newsom, thank goodness, is term limited. So Steve Hilton is the Republican running to replace him in a jungle primary. Steve Hilton, the leading Republican candidate for governor, told the California Post Monday he feels confident but not complacent heading into Tuesday's primary election. It's now or never for California. Don't let this chance for change slip away, Hilton said, warning that an all-Democrat runoff is still within the realm of possibility. I just told y'all about that, about Javier Becerra and Tom Steyer. Tom Steyer is dumping hundreds of millions of dollars in his campaign. Did you hear that Tom Steyer interviewed that guy that thinks he's a girl and is taking all the girl medals away in these state track and field events? I mean, the vast majority of Americans, a lot of people in California are done with this trans junk, right? I mean, I'm serious. This is my podcast, and I say what I want. This is Rumble. This is free speech here. I am tired, sick and tired of the trans agenda out there dictating who the American people can like and dislike out there. You're not normal. If you don't like it, you can leave my podcast. I really don't care. Mr. Tom Steyer, I think you made a strategic mistake by interviewing. Oh, this would be fun. Interview with a guy that has a mental disability, thinks he's a girl. All right. If he would have competed with a bunch of guys in the same track and field event, he would not have even got third place. So it sucks to be him, and now it sucks to be you. So I guess Steve Hilton's probably going to end up getting first or second place, because I don't think Tom Steyer is going to make it. He made quarter the vote up in San Francisco, but he's not going to get it statewide. All right. Get off my tangent, calm down a little bit. All right, here we go again. If you've already voted, spend some time hassling everyone you know to get out to vote as well. Hilton, who served as an advisor for British Prime Minister David Cameron, he's now an American citizen, if you didn't know, is trying to consolidate Republican and independent support into a crowded primary to succeed the term-limited Governor Gavin Newsom. He vowed to investigate Gavin Newsom for fraud, which thank you very much for doing that. And his first act as California governor if he wins the election on Monday. He even showed a replica, an executive order that he's going to sign if he gets elected and sworn in January, which would be really cool. Man, it's already 6:47. Under California's, okay, we won't go there. Okay, so we'll cover more of this at the during the JPA report, which starts at 8 a.m. Central Time this morning. Okay, I know that's a little bit over an hour. We do a quick turn and burn. All right. Next, Oyster Boy. Oyster Boy, we'll just do 1 out of 2 on him since we're running out of time. Senate candidate Graham Plattner has not deactivated his Kik account on a private messaging app associated with casual sex and anonymous encounters. How secure is that for someone that is wants to be a senator, right? Just ask Eric Swalwell, right? Bang, fang, fang, bang, bang. Despite mounting questions over infidelity and the platform's ties for sexual exploitation. There you go. Plattner and the presumptive Democrat nominee in Maine's 2026 Senate race has an active profile on Kik, the anonymous chatting platform notorious for lax identification methods that have enabled the proliferation of child sexual abuse material, and the profile reviewed by Fox News contains sexually suggestive picture of Plattner showing the candidate's naked torso with a towel wrapped around his waist. Like I really want to witness that. It is unclear when the image was taken, but Plattner created the account in 2016. So the Wall Street Journal is the first to report that he was on Kik, which how do you know if someone is on Kik? I never even heard of the place until yesterday or Sunday night when I started doing all my research for the podcast. That's unbelievable, right? And his wife seems like she's okay with it. I don't know. That's weird. All right. We'll cover the other one, the JPA report. We'll cover that one. All right. So, ice. I like my ice with some iced tea. All right. Hold on. Anti-ICE protesters all the way from Portland, Oregon were arrested in New Jersey during the Delaney Hall clashes, Homeland Security says. Outside, that's crazy. Travel 3,500 miles to get arrested. Outside, anti-ICE agitators, uh, outside anti-ICE agitators have traveled across the country to stoke violence outside Delaney Hall, the embattled immigration detention center in New Jersey, the one that Democrats had no problem with during the Obama administration, but have since President Trump is president. Go figure, right? Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullin, I can pronounce his name correctly, made the revelation on Monday, saying that hooligans from as far away as Portland, Oregon, have wreaked havoc outside the Newark facility. 21 protesters were arrested for allegedly assaulting federal officers outside Delaney Hall from May 26 to May 29. At least another another 20 were arrested on Sunday alone. Mullin on Monday praised the New Jersey State Police after the state reluctantly dispatched officers to help the feds rein in the unruly mob after a week of anarchy. One of them actually threatened the life of an ICE agent and his family. Thankfully, yesterday he was arrested. We see over and over again in these sanctuary cities and sanctuary states where law enforcement officers they want to do their job, but that's why they signed up to do their job. So often you have radical left leadership that doesn't allow them to do so. Mullin said it in a press conference on Monday. Federal law, if you assault or dox a federal officer, you're guilty of a felony, and they keep doing it. I don't understand what goes through the minds of some of these protesters, but they are determined. They are absolutely determined. They want to go to federal prison. All right. 652. Trump backs off controversial $2 billion fund clearing the path for stalled GOP immigration bill. So the reconciliation bill will finally go through. From what I read, and I'll read some of this in just a second. Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general, is going to, I guess, make the recommendation to permanently terminate the that fund. Right, that fund has been around for decades. So, regardless of what you think, it wasn't an ideal from the Trump administration to make this thing into a reality. It's not. Matter of fact, how would you feel? This fund was there for a reason, right? And it got unfunded and was just there stagnant. They decided to refill the coffers on it, right? But how would you feel if you were unwarrantedly prosecuted by the federal government for something you didn't do? Would you want your lawyer fees reimbursed? I mean, some people have to put their houses up for mortgage just to be able to pay their lawyers and bond, and then they're found innocent, right? Because prosecutorial misconduct or the charges weren't for real. But these guys are out $200,000-$300,000, and they have to swallow it. And that was the purpose of this fund, right? Okay, just to give you a little bit of background on it. So the Department of Justice pressed pause on the Trump administration's anti-weaponization fund on Monday to give Senate Republicans a runway to hammer through a massive immigration reform enforcement funding package in the process. The DOJ announced on X that it would abide by Virginia federal court order not to move forward with the fund. It comes as Republicans in the upper chamber punted their plan to advance a $72 billion immigration enforcement package over deep concerns about who would access the flow of taxpayer dollars from the $2 billion fund. The DOJ said in a statement that it disagrees strongly with the decision on the anti-weaponization fund by the Virginia District Court, wherein the court stated under no circumstances may the DOJ proceed with the anti-weaponization fund recently established in order to make up the tremendous abuse, harm, and hate unfairly showed to many people. That fund has been around for a long, long time. All right. What were we at? 6:55. Okay. The fund was open to anyone who was so weaponized, targeted, persecuted, whether by Democrat, Republican, conservative, independent, otherwise. The department will still abide by the court ruling. All right. So maybe the INS or the ICE used to be called INS. Okay, so forgive me. Until 2003, maybe they can finally get all their back pay and stuff. Okay, so we're almost out of time. I'll cover this one real quick. Lee Zeldin, the EPA director, has made criminal referrals about some Democrats with some green funds, okay? EPA Administrator Z. Zeldin says he has made several criminal referrals after uncovering a major political enrichment scandal that routed billions in Biden-era green energy grants to Democrat cronies. It's about self-dealing, Zeldin told Just the News. Zeldin said he canceled or stopped $29 billion in EPA grants. That's when you just give money away, including one for $2 billion to a nonprofit tied to longtime Georgia Democratic election activist and failed gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams after unmasking a series of pass-through groups used to route taxpayer monies to the politically connected. That's how you get the dark money into politics. I'm tired of seeing this junk. We get ripped off left and right. Republicans fight tooth and nail for funding to be able to run a campaign, and these Democrats just screw over the American public, steal our money, and give it to fellow Democrats. As you look through these pass-through entities, you see so many connections to former Obama and Biden administration officials and Democrat donors, people who were former cabinet members, other high-ranking administration officials, he said during a wide-ranging interview Monday on John Solomon Reports podcast. Go watch that sometimes, okay? It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so a couple of partying ideas real quick. Day after tomorrow, on the 4th of June, in Belton, by Belton Dam, you got the Dead Fish Grill, Pints and Politics, 6 p.m. All right, go there. I'll be there. My wife's going to be there, and good, like-minded political stuff, and get to hear some good, some good political stuff. Okay, I almost lost my stuff here. And then on Tuesday, June 9th, at 6 p.m. at Giovanni's here in Copper's Cove, we are going to be having a breakdown of a recent primary and talking to like-minded people, like I just said, with the Pints and Politics. Have some fun and a good dinner, all right? All are welcome to attend. As I get back to my screen here. And then we have the GOP convention that is going to take place on the 11th to 13th of June in Houston, Texas. All right. So that is the morning brief for this morning. Join me in an hour from now as we do the JPA report. It's going to be called Welcome to the Jungle. Just to give you a quick deal on that. So I'm going to initiate the raid, the Vince. I'll see you in an hour. There we go with that. Why didn't it go? Hold on. Try that again. Man, why won't it let me raid? I can hear him in the background. If not, we'll just do the raid later on. It won't let me raid. Okay. I guess there was problems with Rumble. Okay. So I'll catch y'all in an hour from now with the JPA report. Go watch Vince, okay? Check y'all later. I'm out.